Hello and welcome to this mini training on how to change bad memory with Faster EFT. So today I'll walk you through step-by-step process that I use every day with my clients on how to change the memory. And the beauty of it is you can totally do it yourself. It's very effective, it works quick, and it's the next big thing to magic. Let's get started. First thing I wanted to mention, why is it so important to go back to traumatic memories? This is something that we normally will run away from, right? We're very resistant to go back to this and address it and process it. But here's the truth, guys. Your memories are your affirmations, and they're also the most powerful ones because they have pictures and they have emotions, and they have feeling. So this is how your subconscious mind hold the information about yourself, your internal world, and what to expect in your present and future world. So naturally, your memories create this canvas or blueprint or map of how you create your reality. What kind of things you notice, what kind of things you done, how much money you allow to have, what kind of people you surround yourself with, what kind of relationships you allow yourself to have. So by going back and changing those traumatic memories or bad memories, you're actually making the biggest impact on the subconscious level to change how you feel. So what I'd like for you to do is to think about one memory that you'd like to change. And sometimes people will say, well, Olga, I have so many. Which one do I start? How do you know which one to start? And I usually will say, well, do the first one or the worst one. Now, a quick disclaimer, since this is not a one-on-one session, which, what I usually do, but it's a video and a training, I do not want you to re-traumatize yourself. So if you know that there's a specific memory that really causes you a lot of emotional pain, don't go there. Save this one, do it with a qualified practitioner, somebody who can take you through this without any trauma and heal it anyways. And just do something that is a little bit lighter so you can practice and you can notice the beauty of this process, how deep and profound it is. And if you feel more comfortable, you can do the other ones yourself, or you can get somebody to do this with you. So the first thing I want you to notice as you go to the memory is, what does that hold, right? So are there people there? Are there noises? Are there pictures? Any sensations? And as you go there, just really pay attention what is going on. Now, if there's a lot going on, you can journal on that a little bit and write things down. So you can say, I see a mom and a dad fighting, right? Or I see two people having a conversation, or somebody maybe hit you if it's a physical abuse or something that has to do with sexual abuse, or something that has to do with an argument that you had with your ex-partner, things that he said to you that hurt you, or something that he did that hurt you. And so as you go there, just start noticing what it is and start noticing how it bothers you. So number one, any pictures, any visuals, look at them. We're going to do some work with this in just a second. Number two, I want you to notice if there are any feelings in that memory. So if you would name 3 top feelings, what would it be? Write this down or just let yourself feel it. We'll tap on that as well. The third thing that I want you to do is if you can feel those feelings in your body. And I always will ask the client, can you feel it in your body? And it sounds like you may be able to feel it or maybe not. But what I really want you to do, and what I really ask my clients to do, is actually to drop from their head to their bodies and start feeling it there. Now, why is it so important to feel your feelings in your body? Well, it has to do with how we process things, and it has to do with how we really hold our emotions in our body. And the truth is, guys, unprocessed stuck emotions create physical diseases. They create relationship problems, create money blocks. So this is why I'm so passionate about helping people process their emotions, especially when there's such a brilliant and easy tools like this one, which is flipping a memory, right? Or start kind of collapsing these blocks. So as you notice all those things, take a quick note, or you can just feel and notice it and we'll tap on them. The last thing I want you to do is, there are any beliefs around it or thoughts. So let me give you an example. I was tapping on a memory with my parents fighting, and my mom was upset. She was crying, and my dad was cursing, like he said something that upset her. She just turned away and walked away from her. Then I saw her crying in the kitchen, and it was just, you know, it was more than one of those memories, but that's the specific one that I tapped on. And so as I went there, I noticed the picture, I noticed the feelings, and the feeling was like a distant feeling. It was disconnected, right? It was sadness. It was hiding something, right? So I would bring up all these feelings. I would notice them. I would feel them, and then I would notice if it's in my body. I think I felt it in my chest and in my heart, and I felt it on my back. So just notice all that. As you do so, we're going to go ahead and start tapping, and just tap along with me. And I'm not sure what feelings you have, but I will use something that comes up a lot for people. And do use your words, do use your feelings, or you can tap with me. It really does work. One last thing that we'll do before we start is notice how strong it is. Just on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 not at all, 10 very strong. Where are you, right? So you can just kind of measure it, and you will notice it does shift. Alrighty, ready? Let's do this. Just say this feeling, this memory, all the way I hold it in my mind, all the way it's real, all the way I'm using it to create something in my life right now. It's safe for me to change it. It's all in the past, no longer real. It doesn't exist. Every day is a new day. So whatever sensations are there, or emotions, or pictures, it's safe for me to let it go. It's safe for me to change how I see it. Because the truth is, it's just me doing it to me right now. It is not happening, and will never happen again the same way. But I keep on recreating it. It's just me torturing me right now. All this pattern of struggle. Safe to release it. Safe to clear it from every cell of my body. Changing the emotions, relaxing my body, letting go of a stuckness, releasing the worry, the fear, the shame, the guilt, stuck feelings, and everything else that's there. It's safe to let it go. It's safe for me to release it. It's safe for me to change this memory. I release and let it go. It's okay to let it go. Just let it go. Go ahead and grab your wrist, pulse around, and breathe in. And breathe out. And peace. Fantastic. So we just did a round of tapping around a memory or a specific event that happened. And what you might notice, it's shifting, it's changing a little bit. Now, there might be still some things there, and I'll guide you through the steps right now on how to address it. So if it's not changing, what I want you to try is a technique from NLP that's called switching the memory. Switching the picture. So close your eyes for just a second and notice that there's a picture with that memory. If there is a one, I want you to notice if it's black or white or its color. Now, if it's black and white, that's where we want it actually. If it's color, then I want you to change it to black and white, just in the privacy of your own mind. And as you do so, I want you to make it kind of smooth or not clear to where it's really hard to see, blurry. That's the word I was looking for. Make it blurry, just in your mind. And when you got it, just go ahead and start shrinking it. Make it smaller and smaller until you get to the size of a stamp, like a really tiny picture. And continue shrinking it until you turn it into a dot. Completely disappears. Gone. Alrighty, good job. Go ahead and open your eyes. And now go ahead and try it again. Go back to this memory. Notice how things are shifting. All what we're doing, guys, is we're working with your subconscious mind representations. This is how your unconscious hold that information, right? And then you see everything through the word of those lenses. So if you are not happy with what's happening in your life right now, there's a beautiful process to go through to make some deep internal changes of how you think, of how you feel, of how you see reality, what kind of things you manifest, especially if there are some repeating patterns. This is a gorgeous way to change it. The last thing that I want you to do, and of course, if it didn't change, just do a couple of tapping rounds. It will get low. Like when you get to 1 to 3, somewhere in that area, when it's either 0, there's no emotional reaction, there's no intensity around it. And I believe, I can assure you guys, you can get there. And if you not get someone to help you, it's totally possible. I flip, I don't know, 3 to 5 memories easily in an hour when I work with client. It really is doable. So the last thing that I want you to do is to do the flipping part or re-imprinting part. Now, what does it mean? And why is it so important, right? So a lot of people have a lot of resistance to this specific part, because what I'll ask you to do is actually change it, to start seeing it differently and feeling differently about it. But here's the truth. It did happen, but it's not happening and probably will never happen, right? Except in your mind, you're doing a really good job to use itself to torture you, right, on some level. So what we want to do is we want to make the type of changes that are lasting and deep, and flipping the memory and seeing it differently in your mind, because it's your mind. It's like a filing cabinet, right? You just take a certain file and say, you know what, it's really a crappy one. I don't want to keep it. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to put something else instead. It's all what it is. It's just an internal representation. And if you want to hold on it as a badge of honor, or it brings you some kind of benefits, which is usually not, then I encourage you to go within and start changing it. Now, there's 3 ways to change a memory once you tapped it down to, low enough intensity, emotions wise. The first way is to physically rewrite it, where something else is happening instead. This one is very powerful, and that's the one that I had most resistance to. Let me give you an example. So I actually done this, a couple of years ago, on that memory that I shared with you when my parents were fighting. And what I did is, like, my practitioner asked me, well, what do you want them to do instead? I said, you know what, I actually want them to, like, sit on a couch and tap on each other. And she said, okay, well, just imagine it in your mind. And I remember the second I thought about it, I broke into tears. I was crying so badly. And she said, well, I don't understand why I'm crying. I actually don't feel bad. I actually, kind of flipped it. And she goes, because this is something that you deeply want. You desire this. You desire the type of relationship where people connect on certain levels. And tapping into this make you feel emotional. And maybe part of you don't think that you deserve it or you'll ever have it. But nevertheless, I flipped the memory and said, you know what? Yeah, it's like totally impossible. But at that time, it was just in my imagination, right? So I could see and I could hold it this way. So a couple of years down the road, I'm meeting someone, and as we're starting to date, things coming up. So I'm teaching, that person how to tap. And as we're sitting on my couch, I remember tapping on him. And it hit me like a lightning. I was like, oh my gosh, that is the memory that I changed, and I'm living this memory. It was just so beautiful, so connected. So I just wanted to tell you this. I want to share it with you because sometimes it may seem something absolutely unrealistic and that you'll never ever can have in your life. But it's the best form of visualizing, right? When you're creating some goals and expectations. That is the best way to do this. When you clear and you empty out all this emotional clutter, you have space to paint the type of picture that you want to live. And right now, I'm in amazing, gorgeous relationships that are so matching the type of relationship I have with myself. And that person does so much work on himself. And it's a really, really gorgeous way for us to interact. Now, it doesn't mean that things doesn't happen, just like that we are tapping together. But it's very connected. It's like we learn and grow, and every time something hit, there's never finger pointing or saying, oh, you did this, or I did this. Like, oh, going back with it, it's like, what is showing up for me, right? What is emerging? So do flip the memory, and so this is just one of the ways to do it. The second way to flip the memory is to actually keep the original memory and just rewrite the feelings in it, right? And it's beneficial when, especially if you're writing a book, or if you have a story that has a lot of value in it. For example, I remember I was actually fired from my very first job, and it was not a good experience. I really wanted this job. But as I tapped on this and looking back in retrospect, especially, I understood what a gorgeous thing it was for me. Because if I wouldn't fight, I would never have a courage to look for a better position. And I had to be kicked out there to go and work in a better place. And that's exactly what happened. I found a job within a couple of weeks and everything worked out. But that original memory was painful, so I changed that. And the way I changed it, as I just look back, I can still see the principal. I'm sitting in the office, he's telling me something, but I don't feel bad about it. All what I can see is the gratitude for this happening, because I can see what kind of momentum it created into my life, to where I was able to become an entrepreneur and run my own business and help people the way I help people now. And finally, the third way to change a memory is to paint it. I know it sounds bizarre, but I remember talking with a client and I said, well, what do you see now? She's like, everything's kind of green. And I go like, well, how do you feel? She goes like, it's a good feeling. I was like, you got it, keep it. And for me, like if you paint anything purple, it's a good feeling, right? So that's the third way to change a memory. Have fun with this. Tap, clear, let go, allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to create the kind of things in your mind first. Because here's the truth, guys, if you cannot see it in your mind, you sure as hell won't be able to manifest in your reality. So start there. Allow yourself to dream big. You deserve it. Enjoy this process, and I'll see you next time. Bye, gorgeous.